Welcome to DermWire News, powered by DermWire.com. DermWire News for Smart Speaker is made possible with advertising support from Ortho Dermatologics.
Derm 2018 hits Las Vegas, and the summer meeting of the American Academy of Dermatology goes to the Windy City.
We're covering all things new, what's out this year, what's new, what's hot.
Ahead on DermWire TV. Welcome to DermWire TV from the editors of DermWire.com and Practical Dermatology magazine. I'm your host, Rana Jaraha. Each summer, the AAD gathers members for updates on medical and aesthetic advancements. This year, the meeting brought skincare specialists to Chicago. Several presenters spoke to DermWire TV about their courses.
We talked about advanced systemic therapeutics in a session I ran with some extraordinary colleagues covering all elements of using systemic drugs, basically taking some of the fears out of the dermatologist's minds for treating patients not only aggressively, but keeping dermatology at a high level for systemic therapies that often become intimidating when you haven't really had a good overview of training, monitoring, and watching for some good outcomes.
I'm lecturing on advanced cutaneous squamous cell carcinoma, basal cell, and Merkel cell carcinoma, actually just in the general sense advanced skin cancer. So immunotherapy, photodynamic therapy, and radiation therapy, what's new.
And we had a great session today here in Chicago at the Summer AAD on pigmentary therapeutics, where we really focus just on therapies and clinical pearls in treating melasma, vitiligo, hyperpigmentation, and also an overview of chemical peels and aesthetic procedures that are safe in treating pigmentary disorders. We had an action-packed lineup of speakers, including Dr. Pearl Grimes, Dr. Valerie Callender, and Dr. Nada Elbaluk. And we really rounded out the session with a clinical potpourri of a variety of cases, as well as horizons of what's new happening globally in the world of pigmentation. For example, JAK inhibitors for vitiligo, tranexamic acid for melasma, combination chemical peels for PIH and pigmentary disorders instead of just using one agent, using a combined approach, as well as newer sunscreen agents and photoprotection novelties that are happening in some of our global communities.
The 2019 annual meeting of the AAD heads to Washington, D.C. in March. Derm 2018 provides an opportunity for nurse practitioners and physician assistants in dermatology to network and learn in Las Vegas. The meeting is presented by the Dermatology Education Foundation, a nonprofit public benefit corporation. Presenters shared insights from their talks with DermWire TV.
We're having an amazing meeting so far, tremendous information is being delivered from the podium, a lot of excitement about new products and disease states that haven't been presented before.
I never knew that Cyndi Lauper had psoriasis until I saw her commercial. I always knew Ray Liotta had acne. And so I think it's very important that while we do spend a lot of time and energy and resources treating psoriasis, that we remember to treat acne too. In particular, acne scarring. My lecture really focused on the importance of preventing acne scarring, but it also talked about things that all of us can do in our practice to treat it. One of those things is write a prescription. Treat acne, treat it aggressively, treat it well, but we also have evidence now that some of our products that contain adapalene can actually improve scarring themselves.
And one of the things I'm going to talk about this meeting is acne scarring, and we see a lot of that in our practice, and our mid-levels in our practice do a lot of education about acne and treatment of acne. And so what do you do when the acne leaves scarring, which happens about 50% of the time?
I just presented atopic dermatitis and the importance of microbiome in the treatment of atopic dermatitis.
I spoke today on infectious diseases at Derm 2018. Some pearls to take away. There's a new oral antibiotic called delafloxacin, good for horrible abscesses. And speaking of abscesses, it turns out in a big study, you really need antibiotic along with incision and drainage. There's another new topical antibiotic, ozenoxacin, good for impetigo twice a day for 5 days.
More information about the Dermatology Education Foundation, including future meetings, is available at dermnppa.org. That concludes this edition of DermWire TV. If you have an Echo device, be sure to enable the Dermatology News skill and then tell Alexa to play Dermatology News. You can also get news updates anytime at DermWire.com. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for listening to DermWire News. This editorially independent program is made possible with advertising from Ortho Dermatologics.